Samantha woke up at 7 in the morning. She opened her eyes, stretched, and turned off her alarm. She pulled the blanket away and sat on the edge of her bed. She still felt a little sleepy. She looked around her room. The curtains were closed, but some sunlight was coming through. She wondered about the weather. She got up, walked to the window and opened the curtain. It was a little cloudy, but it looked like a nice day. She stood by the window for a few seconds and watched outside. People were walking on the street. Some cars passed by. She could smell fresh bread from the bakery on the corner. She opened the window a little and took a deep breath. The cool morning air came into the room. It made her feel more awake. Then she went to the bathroom. She looked in the mirror and saw her messy hair. She smiled and turned on the tap to wash her face. The cold water touched her skin and she felt fresh. She dried her face with a towel and brushed her hair. She looked in the mirror for a moment and smiled. After leaving the bathroom, she decided to clean her room a little. She made her bed, put her clothes in the laundry basket and organized the books on her desk. She also arranged her pens and notebooks neatly. Even small changes made her room look cleaner. This made her feel happy. Then she went to the kitchen. Her mother was making coffee. The smell of coffee filled the kitchen. "Good morning, Mom," Samantha said with a smile. Her mother smiled back. "Good morning, dear. Did you sleep well?" she asked. Samantha nodded. "Yes, but I am still a little sleepy," she said. Her mother took a sip of coffee and said, "If you have breakfast, you will feel better." Samantha agreed and opened the fridge to prepare breakfast. She took out a box of milk. Then she took 2 slices of bread from the bread box and put them in the toaster. While waiting, her mother also prepared her breakfast. When the toast was ready, Samantha spread some butter and honey on it. Then she poured a glass of milk and sat at the table. Her mother asked, "What are your plans for today?" Samantha smiled and said, "First, I will go to the library. Then I will meet Emily." Her mother nodded and said, "Great. The weather will be nice today. You don't need an umbrella." After breakfast, Samantha went to her room. She needed to decide what to wear. She opened her wardrobe and looked inside. She chose blue jeans and a white t-shirt. She also took a light jacket because the mornings were a bit cold. She looked in the mirror and put on a little makeup. Then she packed her bag. She put her wallet, phone, and a bottle of water inside. When she was ready, she put on her shoes and went to the door. She called out, "See you later, Mom," and left the house. After closing the door, she took a deep breath. It was a cool morning, but not windy. The sun was sometimes hiding behind the clouds. Samantha walked to the bus stop. On the way, she looked at some shops. She stopped in front of a shop window and saw a beautiful bag. "Maybe I can buy this for my birthday," she thought. Then she continued walking. 5 minutes later, the bus arrived. She got on and scanned her card. She sat near the window and watched outside during the ride. The bus arrived at the library after 15 minutes. Samantha got off and walked inside. The library was quiet. People were reading books and using computers. She sat at her favorite table and took out her notes. She studied for an hour and borrowed some books. The topics were sometimes difficult, but studying regularly made everything easier. Then she explored the library more. She found a new section with travel books. She picked one and sat down to read about different countries. The pictures of exotic places fascinated her, and she started dreaming about future travels. At 11 o'clock, she left the library. She was going to meet Emily at a cafe. She walked slowly to the cafe. Emily was waiting outside. "Hello, Samantha," she said with a big smile. Samantha smiled too, and they hugged. They walked inside and sat at a table. Samantha ordered a coffee, and Emily ordered tea. They also got a slice of cake each. They started talking. Emily told her about a new movie she watched. "It was so exciting. You should watch it," she said. Samantha nodded and said, "Okay, maybe I can watch it this weekend." Then they talked about their picnic next week. They had fun making plans. They also talked about school and upcoming exams. Samantha was a bit worried about her math test, and Emily gave her some advice on how to study effectively. After leaving the cafe, they wanted to walk for a while. They went to a nearby park. Children were playing and some people were walking their dogs. Samantha and Emily sat on a bench and watched the people. "This park is so nice. We should come here more often," Samantha said. Emily agreed. They talked about their summer plans, and Samantha mentioned that she wanted to take a short trip to the mountains with her family. After their walk, Emily had to go home. "Today was great. See you tomorrow," she said. Samantha smiled and waved goodbye. Then she walked to the bus stop. She got on the bus to go home. On the way, she listened to music. The weather was now warmer. She looked outside the window and watched people. She noticed a new bookshop on the street and made a mental note to visit it soon. When she arrived home, she opened the door and went inside. Her mother was in the kitchen. "How was your day?" she asked. Samantha smiled and said, "It was great. I studied at the library, then I met Emily." Her mother smiled too and said, "Nice. Now go and rest for a while." Samantha went to her room. She put her books on the desk and lay on her bed. She took her phone and read some messages. Then she closed her eyes and took a short nap. When she woke up, she felt refreshed and decided to read one of the books she borrowed from the library. She spent the rest of the afternoon enjoying her book, thinking about the wonderful day she had and looking forward to tomorrow.